Look at that Umbreon V. Now that PokeRev talked about it, it's going up like crazy. But is it the only Pokemon investment card that is doing this in Q2 of 2024? Let's take a look tonight here on Northwoods TCG. Alright everybody, I'm Andy with Northwoods TCG, and today we're going to be talking about your Pokemon investments in single cards here in 2024. What is occurring currently in this particular hobby? And since PokeRev talked about the Umbreon V, is that the only card that we are seeing this particular movement in it? And that's going to be the real question when it comes down to these particular cards. So today we're going to be taking a look at several different alternate arts, or talking about them, and taking a look at whether or not the Umbreon V is the only one that we're having this current situation with, or is it just more of them? And PokeRev really had nothing to do with the current market and what we're seeing. And for most people that are out there, that's what we're probably thinking is that since he took credit for it, is that he's the reason it did that. And that's not necessarily true. So guys, if you're new here, be sure you guys hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and last but not least, hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated to help out the channel and get this algorithm moving. But today we're going to really be talking about alternate arts because there was a period of time where they were pretty much down in a lull, and we really didn't see much happen with them. They actually decreased a lot in value. A lot of people moved from here and shifted over to tag teams. Tag teams became a big chase. So people that were preemptively getting into tag teams, seeing some really good benefits to holding on to those. We saw Team Up go up from $800 all the way up to $2,000. We saw a lot of tag team cards double in price, which was very good for that particular end of the market. But then what happened in return is a lot of these sets in the Sword and Shield era, the ones that we thought were going to be the prime children, the great gainers, the ones that we thought were going to be fantastic cards overall, just kind of flatlined or lost value. We saw that with quite a few of the different alternate arts in the Sword and Shield block. Now, is that still the case? The Umbreon V has been the big case, the big thing that everybody's been talking about because of PokeRev talking about it, creating that hype, that value, and of course taking that Pokemon investment and taking it from $75 and pushing it to $200, $250. Now, is that the only card that's done that? No, guys, I'm going to pull up one right now that we've talked about several times on this channel, and I said as soon as the market shifts and people go into it, we saw rotation change, and we've seen that E-block now be removed from the standard play, and probably will not see any more product coming out of Pokemon Center once it sells out on Pokemon Center, which I believe it all has at this point in time besides Battle Styles. What were we going to see with the pricing of these particular cards? And we're seeing it, guys. Look at this Celebi V. Celebi V, we were just talking about that. Buying that at $23 was a fantastic value. I saw this card doing great in the next years to come. It's going to be a collectible. It's a great looking artwork and overall a really well done card, but it just doesn't seem to perform, and we couldn't figure out why because it was a really nice card. Well guys, look at it today. That card is currently going for $39. That's right, we went from $23 here a month and a half ago when we talked about it here on the channel, and it's already almost $40. So we've almost doubled the value of that particular card when it comes down to your Pokemon card investments. That's exactly what we're looking for when you're wanting to see these cards kind of rotate out, and that's what we're seeing is these rotation changes. And it's not the only card, guys. The Blaziken doubling in price, the Gengar VMAX crossing close to that $300 range, the Lugia's making a change and going in that upward direction, all the way up to the Charizard V is also going up. All the alternate arts that are in the Pokemon Sword and Shield E-block are all doing extremely well, and alternate arts in general are increasing in value. That is exactly what we expected with a lot of these alternate arts, especially some of the ones that we thought were forgotten. I mean, you can even go into and look at the Rapidash from Chilling Reign. We thought that that was a gorgeous card. I've always thought that was a really great artwork, and it was just a forgotten artwork. And now it's not as forgotten. It's doubled in value now in the last few weeks. Since these cards have been going out of rotation and that E-block is finally going out of rotation, these E-block cards are all doing really well, and especially once they sell out on Pokemon Center. Once they sell out, this is what we're seeing. And is this something we can look forward to with some more of these cards when we're looking at them disappearing off Pokemon Center? Astral Radiance gave us a scare. It was gone off of Pokemon Center, and then all of a sudden it came back with a 96 purchase limit. I know how many people are buying 96, but once again, you get to see that picture, that glimpse of how people will react on the market once it sells out in Pokemon Center. And we saw exactly that. Astral Radiance went from about $140 all the way up to 170 almost in one day. So the pricing of these sets are increasing in value quickly, and that's giving you some really good potential value when it comes down to these sets. Tells you what's going to happen when Brilliant Stars disappears, when Lost Origins disappears, the two stronger sets in that last year in the Pokemon TCG. And we're going to continue to talk about those sets, guys. Those are very important when it comes down to your investment. If you've got money, I would be skipping Astro, I would be skipping Silver Tempest, and I would be focusing primarily on those two on Pokemon Center over anything else. And I will tell anybody that's my absolute feeling is that if I've got $150 in 5 years, which one of those four sets is going to do the best? Is it going to be Silver Tempest? Is that going to outperform all the other four? Is it going to be Astral Radiance? No. Lost Origins, Brilliant Stars are going to be the best bangs for your buck, and that's where you should be putting your money when you're looking at your Pokemon card investments for the future. Now, we can go through several other of the alternate arts, but realistically, across the board, in that E-block, except for Battle Styles, because it's still available on Pokemon Center, plus, I still think there's going to be some really good futuristic gain on this, and this could give us a tale for what could happen with that Sleepy T-Tar in that particular set. Maybe they'll knight that nice Urshifu Rapid Strike and Single Strike Vs in those particular cards. Once again, beautiful artworks, the first alternate arts that we saw in a Sword and Shield block, and this may give us a glimpse of what we may see when they sell out in Pokemon Center as well. As this block continues to disappear, the stock is going to become less. There will be no replenishment, and I think even for me as a consumer, I feel more confident in purchasing those particular items now and putting them away for a long-term hold. I'm not concerned with that replacement of this product as it sells out quickly. If it sells out fast, it doesn't get replaced now. We're past that rotation. These sets are starting to go away. They're no longer playable. The players are moving on beyond them, and this is why we're seeing it right down the line. And I mean, you could literally pull open any one of these particular cards, and you can see this trend happening across all of the current sets that are in that E-block that have just gone out of rotation, especially the alternate art sets. If you take a look at Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies, or Fusion Strike, all of which are doing really well when it comes down to their overall performance. We can even pull open the Espeon VMAX alternate art out of Fusion Strike. It has gone up from $125 to $156, and this has just been over the course of the last 3 weeks. So we're seeing it straight across the board. It's not just the Umbreon V, so don't make it seem like PokeRev has that much power to be changing the overall market and influencing how well these cards are performing. I mean, we can go to the Mew VMAX, another alternate art that was really doing well on its own. It was sitting around $55, and now currently it's already going up to $80. So just in the little bit of time that we've seen, this card has also done really well. All of the alternate arts in the E-block right now are all moving up extremely fast, which is good because all of us that were saying even 6 months ago to maybe be considering these particular alternate arts are now seeing the fruits of that actual labor of putting in and spending that money. Now is the time where you're going to be seeing the return on some of that as these go out of rotation. And once again, look at the futuristic gains on these particular things for your Pokemon card investments. You're going to potentially see these things continue to gain value, especially in the last 4 sets. Think of what's going to happen to that Charizard V in Brilliant Stars when Brilliant Stars is sold out on Pokemon Center, when we know that there's no more stock coming out of there. Now, do I think that there would be a reprint of those particular sets? It's small. I mean, if we're seeing some really good playability still out of those particular sets, and if we're seeing them in demand by players for their tournaments, possibly we could be seeing some reprints of those particular sets. Do I think that that's going to occur? No. There are some very strong Scarlet and Violet sets now that are really taking some really good front seat, driver's seat locations, such as that Charizard EX deck. We've got that Iron Hands deck that's been pulling up really hard. The Pidgeot deck has actually been building pretty good as a control deck currently. And we also are seeing like a Roaring Moon deck coming up as well. We're seeing some really good playable decks that are taking out even Lugia decks and some of the stronger decks of Sword and Shield at this point in time. And when that occurs, players are going to start moving into there, especially after rotation change. Some people are moving away from more of those classic Sword and Shield decks and moving into the futurist decks of these Scarlet and Violet era. That's going to be a big consequence to the overall performance and the reasons that Pokemon would actually reprint these particular sets. So once again, great Pokemon investments coming up for your singles and in your cards. Definitely a great opportunity to maybe jump into some of those before they go crazy, such as that Beedrill V, another perfect example of a card that could do extremely well, but just is kind of held back because hey, it's not in a great set, number one, and number two, the demand just hasn't been there. There hasn't been a reason for someone to strike and buy that particular card for that collection because there's time. The value hasn't gone up. The set's still available. I could still pull it myself. It's cheap to still go buy packs of Astral Radiance and take my chance at it. And as it sells out and the pack prices go up, the value of these cards go up, people usually will dive in and try and fill in their collections at that point in time. So these are all things to continue to consider as we're moving into the removal of the last Sword and Shield sets, as they will start going out of rotation next year. So we're already going into a time clock of, we have a countdown currently going that we know Sword and Shield and that F block is going to be the next one on the chopping block, and we know that that's going to be removed from play. So for your Pokemon investments, now's the time to be, number one, buying your sealed investments when it comes down to your Pokemon sealed investments. Brilliant Stars, very important. Lost Origins, really important. If you want to, go for Silver Tempest and Astral Radiance, both of which I think are not going to have as heavy of gains as the other two. If I have money personally, once again, I am putting it into Brilliant Stars or Lost Origins. Those to me are going to be the best performers. But all those alternate arts too. If you are a Pokemon card investor or a Pokemon card collector and you're looking for those for your sets, now's the time to be looking for those particular investments, to be taking advantage of them when it comes down to the futuristic dropout of that F block here in the near future, or when they sell out on Pokemon Center. Both are things you need to consider. Once that happens, we could see some really good value come into that Tina and also that Charizard V, also that Arceus V, some of these Palkia Dialga V, some of these ones that were kind of held back, just didn't seem to perform as well as we thought they should. That might be the time they kick off. So for everybody that's joined me today, hopefully this is a good video, helps you with your knowledge. If you did, make sure you guys hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and last but not least, hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated to help out the videos. Also, be sure you guys join us on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Time. We have a live every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Time, and that way you can have some fun talking to us live, bringing up your comments, questions, and of course, having good conversation is always fun. So be sure you join us for that. Also, if you do enjoy just opening cards or sitting back, relaxing, and want to talk, we are going to be live on TikTok on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So you can come join us there as well. Just hang out and chat. Absolutely perfectly fine. I enjoy the chats there as well. We're always live and talking about different things on there. So other than that, guys, thank you everybody that's joined in tonight. Once again, make sure you guys hit that like button and help out the channel a little bit. If you do like this kind of content, check out the next videos on the end of the video that you may enjoy and help you out with your Pokemon investment. Other than that, we'll see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.